Okay, so this is my vlog for my first interaction. And just to start off with a recap, my interaction is with my roommate. Her name is Melissa, and she's an international student from China. For the first interaction, we decided to go to Starbucks, which is the one that's located across from the side of the Breslin Center. I decided to meet there just because this is our first interaction, and I wanted her to be comfortable, and I didn't want anything to be awkward. And although we are roommates, we don't talk a lot, nor do we hang out. So I thought that for the first interaction, something simple, and that Starbucks is usually not very crowded, so I thought that was a good idea. And for the next vlogs, we can go out to more places when she starts to get more comfortable. Um, I will have to admit that I was kind of nervous for our first meetup, only for the fact that I don't know how she would respond to the questions or even if she would want to. So it was something that was out of her comfort zone and mine as well. I started off talking to her about what we are learning in class and how it is related to the questions I'll be asking and how in the project overall. We started off with just small talk, and then I just eased into some questions. Before, I made sure to ask if she was comfortable discussing things in regards to her strengths, weaknesses, and things in class topics, activities, assignments, and the exams that she has experienced so far. I shared to her that in high school, grades to me were so much more than knowledge, because I wanted to get into the college of my choice. But for her, she let me know that it wasn't just college that grades were important in, it was all of her schooling that grades were important in. Even from a young age, she remembers having to study all night long, having very hard exams that included her native language and English, and how strict not only her parents are on her when it comes to school, but how her schools were to her, and just things like that. And she also explained to me, which I thought was interesting, that because her family was a bit wealthier, she was able to come over to the United States for schooling. And I thought that was interesting because most of my friends from high school, wealthy or not, if you wanted to go to college, you were able to go. Even if you didn't have the money, you could apply for scholarships and things like that. It wasn't just, oh, just the wealthy get to go somewhere to study and higher education. Also, when it comes to school, we seem to both have supportive parents who strongly encourage school because of the type of future they want for us and what they have instilled inside of us to want for ourselves, for our future. Some of our common strengths when it came to school was our work ethic. We both seemed to schedule study time and time to go to our office hours, just because we felt that those were two tools that would help us be super successful and would help with things that we had trouble in. And although we were raised differently, schooling and doing our best in school seemed to be a common ground. So even though we came from different backgrounds, she always told me that her parents always wanted the best school for her, and I told her that was the same for me. And something that was different though and challenging for her seemed to be the language barrier. And English is my first language, but it's not her first language. And although her English is pretty good, she said that one of her weaknesses is exams, because especially exams that are more language oriented, so things that have to do with like written problem solving and things. She reads a lot slower, and she said that it's harder for her to comprehend things as fast as other people. So when they are timed, she finds herself scrambling at the end. So exams, written exams, or exams where she has to read, really seems her weakness. And I was telling her that that was one of my strengths on the SAT and ACT. I did the best on those, so that was one of my strengths. And we both just seemed to overall value school and seemed to enjoy the same subject, such as math. Math I really love as well, and math is her major. And but her drive for doing well in school is more so her parents' approval and doing well for her parents, and mine's drive is good grades so I can ultimately get the job, my dream job. And some of the things that she does that help her in school is study with friends who are bilingual and can explain concepts to her in English and her first language. So then she also gets stronger in English, but she can also excel on exams. I told her that one thing I do is ask questions in my classes, no matter how big or small. She said that that makes her nervous because her English is broken, but I told her the more she does it, the more comfortable she'll get. So overall, I learned that we do value school, and we do have strengths and weaknesses, but they're all a bit different. So I just told her, we just discussed some tips, and that's all.